it would be a question I was thinking about putting to you
Yeah, okay.
on this subject. And
Okay.
that would be knowing that you've obviously used debt collectors
Sure. Yes, I have.
before.
Yes.
Um,
Use, pay for.
yes.
Yes.
Not
Absolutely.
any debt collector.
No, of course. Yeah.
What would you say there's an impact on the client relationship?
Yeah, so I think that the main thing is it's definitely kind of a last resort for most people. You know, it's not your first go-to. There are probably a number of different avenues that you would try to pursue before getting that, whether that's some form of, hey, let's have a commercial conversation, then let's perhaps have a legal conversation.
Yeah.
And then at that point, you would see that what you're really dealing with on the other side is a complete reluctance to even, have a commercial or legal conversation that would ultimately resolve in some form of mediation or some form of settlement.
Yeah.
So I would generally say that it's two things in my personal experience. One, it's time and resources. Right?
Yeah.
So you have this debt, but you can't be asked, and it's something that is part of your business, and maybe it's only like 0.5% of your total turnover.
Yeah.
And you're thinking about the 99.5% of your turnover, which is obviously what's driving your business forward.
Yeah.
And so you kind of just say, you know what, I'm going to forget about it. It's bad debt. Let's just move on. That's definitely one part of it. The other part of it is, well, you just don't know where to begin because you're not used to somebody just going, I'm not going to pay you.
Yeah.
And I think that's when you really have to take on professional help,
I think you can do some steps. For example, you can try and formalize the actual communication process that you're having with that client, just to make sure that as soon as it's become apparent that it's defaulted, you could run your own 30-day chase campaign where you're just going to say, okay, we're going to give this guy 30 days. It's already defaulted. We're now going to issue a series of warnings each week. We're going to up the ante because that's effectively what debt collectors do. It's a steady process of first of all giving them the opportunity to pay, and then if that's not good enough, then you go on and on and on. Add financial penalties, warn of potential legal action, etc. Yeah. So I think people could do that themselves even before they come to a debt collector. And I think the way that would play out potentially in the future if it went legal would be helpful because you could always demonstrate, well, we gave them every opportunity to pay, and nothing worked. Yeah. I think it's when that debtor or that client before they become a debtor is actually sort of saying, sorry, we're not going to pay. And I think actually when you reach that moment, you absolutely should use a debt collector.
Yeah.